Howdy again everyone. A few years ago now I did my first ever 35mm film review of the awesome Lomography Metropolis stock, and I absolutely loved its low saturation, high contrast, high grain images, perfect for street photography. Well, recently Lomography got in touch with me to ask if I'd like to test one of their cool Petzl lenses, and by my request they kindly put 3 more of their different and utterly unique films into the package. So, full disclosure, these films were provided to me by Lomography and they cost about £12 each, not cheap. I'd like to say thank you to them for that, but of course this is still going to be a totally independent video. Just getting these films developed ended up costing me nearly £40 in itself, so this video is probably not going to go into profit for me. I just fancied a change and doing something a bit different, and to make sure my 35mm film camera, an old Canon EOS 300V, was still working. So today I present to you the Lomochrome Turquoise, Purple and Color 92. They also come in 120 format, carry up to 36 exposures and have an ISO range of 100 to 400. I just set my camera to ISO 200 and shot away with a Sigma 40mm f1.4 art lens. Straight away you can see the elementary differences to the 3 films in terms of their colours. On all 3 of the films the grain is very heavy and the resolution a bit soft, although Lomography will of course claim that this is deliberate, and admittedly it does look kind of natural for this style of photography. The turquoise and the purple films really turn your colours upside down to the point where they look like negatives. You can see the correct colours on this sign in the Color 92 image on the right. The turquoise film's colours are amazing and flat out crazy. Its images are probably the most interesting of the 3 films by far, turning yellows blue, including people's faces. Thankfully, the actual saturation isn't too high here, but contrast levels are very punchy. The pictures here are pretty mind-blowing, and they're covered with interesting orange flecks when you look up close. Really fascinating. My second favourite was probably the purple film. It certainly had less effect on people's skin tones, but it still managed to mess with your colours in a way that really draws you into the picture. Again, saturation isn't too high here, but contrast is a bit lower than it was on a turquoise film, which probably makes sense as its effect isn't trying to be as revolutionary. The film's images are covered with interesting teal coloured flecks this time when you look up close. And finally, the Color 92. To be honest, I flat out didn't like the Color 92 stock. Its strong orange and teal colours combined with its low contrast just didn't work for me really, although I did like what those colours did for my skin tones. Its images are mostly free from any speckles, a bit boring really, especially compared with the other 2 films. So, well, there you have it. Out of all of Lomography's films, I think the Metropolis is still my favourite, but I have to admit I was blown away by the turquoise film here, especially by its very high contrast, orange fleckles and mind-bending colours. If ever I do some medium format film work, and I'd really love to one day, then a roll of that film will definitely be on a shopping list, and the purple film was pretty interesting too.